Hello, Leo. Thank you so much, you guys, for being here. Okay, Leo, so immediately this one made me feel like you're no longer vibrating at the same frequency that you used to be because something has changed you almost immediately. Now, there's two ways for me to look at this. This is either about love walking into your life and completely changing you and you seeing growth, or we're talking about growth being facilitated by all of these things that are falling away. Because if you're choosing love, you're on a different frequency. And all the things that can't match that have to fall away. So this is going to be for those of you who have either dealt with a situation that completely changed who you were, and you may have stayed in the situation for far too long, and now there's going to be growth where you're going to be moving to a more loving place because of eternal love, or even just a place of compassion and understanding. Whatever higher vibration you're moving into, though, with growth, this is going to bring all of the positive seeds that you've been planting, especially if you've been meditating, praying, positive affirmations, whatever it may be. You're going to start to see that stuff manifest now. And like I said, for some of you, though, it's like a relationship just walks into your life and completely changes everything. But you'll know, if you look at the situation and think that it's completely changed you, then yeah, the message is for you. Okay, Leo, the overall here, the Nine of Cups, what makes you happy? What do you want? Wish fulfillment and happiness. But what is it? What does that mean to you, right? But as the overall, perfect. Absolutely, that's what you want to have happen. Okay, the Two of Cups. So this could be about a relationship again that felt like a really good connection for you and was what you wanted. So we may be talking about this relationship, or this is the relationship that you're wanting to have, that this has been a past desire that is now coming back through, where you may have had difficult relationships before, stayed too long, and maybe now you're kind of like stepping back into the whole dating situation, wanting to meet new people. But both of these look really good. Okay, so the Ace of Swords. Now, if we are talking about a relationship with the Ace of Swords in the present moment, this is a new beginning in communication, truth, clarity. So it may be that there's this new understanding or new truth having to do with a relationship, but this would be beginning it again. And for those of you who have not been in a relationship for a while, I think that your wishes might start to get fulfilled if this is what you're looking for. And it may be that either you or somebody else is wanting to start this connection, but there's something that has to be cleared up, is what I feel like. Okay, future conditions, the Three of Cups, happy, perfect. So not only do you have a really good connection, there's openness and honesty in the beginning of a new cycle within it, but you also have this support and this celebration that's going on with the Three of Cups. And with the Nine of Cups, it's like literally having a house party. But this looks good. But I still feel like, there are things that need to be made clear. Oh boy, your best path to follow, death. And again, right, like all of the old has to fall away. All of those people and situations that are no longer on your same frequency gotta go. But this is needing to go through a deep transformation. I wonder if it isn't happening like almost immediately. Some of you may have been hoping that a situation was going to change into what you would like to see. But with death, it's about you and your transformation. Interesting. Yeah, in your environment, the Magician, right? So let's be honest about what we want to create. And this may be an opportunity coming through where, you're starting a new relationship here. And it's like, not only is it a really good connection, but you're able to communicate to each other about what you see in the future or what you're both working toward. And then you have this celebration and support. This, I think, right here is just being honest about what the both of you are wanting to create. But I'm going back to death and looking at the Nine of Cups and thinking, the other thing is that if we're talking about instant change with death, the things that you've wanted before may completely change. So this may be like a big, huge transformation in what emotional fulfillment looks like to you, especially when it comes to a relationship. Now, this could be any relationship, though. It doesn't have to be romantic, right? But having a close bond with somebody where there's this open communication about what is wanting to be created here. But the both of you are like, yeah, that's exactly what we want. Okay, your hopes and your fears, the moon. Illusions, but they're your own, and that's the thing, right? So when I see the moon, usually it's just stay on the path. Don't go wandering into the dark places because you're going to find parts of yourself that you probably don't want to meet. Now, with the Ace of Swords being in the present moment, you have an opportunity to clear all of that up. Maybe there's something that needs to be said that's been kept hidden for a while, that has been confusing to you. And this may be needing to have an open conversation with somebody that, you're in this close relationship with. But, be careful, right? Like, don't wander off the path. If you let your fears and anxieties get the best of you here, it's going to be a different type of transformation than I think, you're hoping for. Things have to change big time with death. And then coming out justice. So there is, this right here looks like, yep, we're going to decide to do this. And it almost looks like a commitment, right? Like it's not the Hierophant, but justice is pretty close. But I'm also looking at friends here, so I'm wondering if this isn't somebody that's, trying to support you in the things that you want, but making sure that you're doing it the right way. Now, for others of you, this is support out of the ending of a relationship where you may have thought you had a good connection. And the only reason why I'm saying that is because the Two of Cups is the past. And this is your best path to follow. This isn't the Ten of Swords. This is, if this relationship had issues where there was confusion, or maybe there was not enough trust or truth being spoken, with justice coming out, those things are going to get cleared up. But if you're holding on to a relationship, it may be with the Ace of Swords and the Magician that it's time for you to change the ideas of what you want to see in terms of wish fulfillment. But you still have, support with the Three of Cups, right? But this is like, yeah, we want to manifest the same thing. That, or you're going to be honest with yourself about what you're trying to create. But either way, you have, this support and this upliftment. And then with justice, making amends. Making the right decision. Oh, well, okay. And then, okay. All right. So the Emperor with the Two of Cups, that's kind of harsh. Now, it could just very simply be saying that this is a father figure that you have a relationship with. And we're kind of just, talking about things and correcting things that we perceive to be mistakes, and it creates this happiness and this emotional fulfillment with the Nine of Cups because you've changed, or they have. But when you're talking about the Emperor, you're talking about control. And trying to control things in a relationship, or feeling like you didn't have any control. And I say that because of what comes next in justice, saying that these things are being corrected. Some of you, because of this, may have experienced a very painful ending. With the Ten of Swords, though, it's over with now. It's almost like your worst fears have already manifest. There's nothing else that could possibly hurt you. So it is about getting up and taking the swords out of your back, right? And then you have the Hierophant, and this is where the commitment comes in. And this is about doing things in the traditional sense. It's also conformity, but spiritual understanding too. Spiritual knowledge, spiritual teacher. It may be turning to spirituality in a practical way after a very painful situation where there may have been control issues gets balanced out. But overall here, we're still talking about transformation of you and what you want. Now, for some of you, absolutely it could be about, getting a divorce and being really happy about it and celebrating with some friends. Like, yeah. Getting clear on what you actually want to manifest in terms of relationships. I have to laugh every time that one comes out. Look at this. Assurance. And the thing is I understand the feeling. Like, I want to make sure that this is okay. Like, everything is going to be okay. Like, I need some kind of sign, right? And then you have love. And look at that. Be open, and then you had stuck. So if you want to get unstuck, you have to be open to love. And don't worry, because the universe is going to give you a sign that everything's going to be okay. Faraway places, get ready for new horizons. Very nice. Way different than what you might have wanted before. And then first light, beginning a new cycle. Perfect. So there's a lot of different ways to look at this, but I really think that, especially with the moon being there and looking at what you're coming out with, it would make sense that there is fear about things not being clear when you get involved in relationships. But I don't know, I'm looking at that Ten of Swords and that Hierophant, and it totally makes sense to me. Like, I'm done with these patterns now. And then you have the beginning of a new cycle. But either way, vibrating at a different frequency, and this is no joke, if you can start to feel love and compassion in your heart, it will reflect back to you. And those are the seeds that you want to plant.